All right, let's talk pork rolls.
Why they do it? Is that
the 2018 New Jersey Pork Roll Tour of Monmouth County took place on August 8th, 2018. Originally an idea of Mike Luzio's, handled perfectly and organized by Anna Bongiorno. But let's hear a little bit about the reason why this took place. I mean, we could have certainly been doing something better with our time.
Look, I think New Jersey is known for a lot of things, but I think one of the things that a lot of people outside of New Jersey don't realize is that there's tons of delis. There's delis everywhere, and those delis serve breakfast sandwiches. At least that's what we call them here in New Jersey, right? We call them breakfast sandwiches. And what's more important, or what's more cool to New Jersey than breakfast sandwiches? And plus, I got a house down in the Jersey Shore, which Chris, you visited many times, and we always go into a local deli down there called Bing's Deli, and Bing's is fabulous. Their sandwiches are great, but what they really are well known for, in my opinion, are their amazing breakfast sandwiches. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah. Bing's.
Many hungover nights we've had down at the Shore House that we've gone in the morning, and I said, Chris, would you like a breakfast sandwich? And you'd say stuff like, there's a bear shit in the woods, right?
Yeah. I mean, look, I've had plenty of sausage, egg, and cheese in New York and growing up, and yeah, it's the perfect hangover food after a night of boozing, but Bing's is a whole new level. I mean, Bing's is, the first time I had Bing's, my head exploded. Like, the double sausage on the sausage, egg, and cheese is, I don't know what, it's like military grade. It's insane.
It's military grade.
It's nuclear.
Right, so I said to Chris, I said, what's more New Jersey, or what's something I think that's very New Jersey, being over 40 and living here for, you know, most of my life, is breakfast sandwich. I said, you know what we gotta do one day? And I think we were sitting over a breakfast sandwich. I wanna go sample breakfast sandwiches because I've had good ones. I don't think I've had as good as Bing's, but we decided to, or not us, I decided we should make this happen. And I tasked our young millennial intern, Anna Bongiorno, to, as my daughter calls her, Anna Bongiorno. I had her put something together, and we toured a little of Monmouth County.
Those are just two idiots who like cheese and sausage.
Speak for yourself.
Talking shit.
Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself. So let's go. So if we were gonna rate them, we're gonna rate sandwich,
right,
taste, obviously, most important in my opinion. Chris, although you're big on the atmosphere.
Yes.
Service. Now look, we're not, you know, it's not like we're going to Osteria in Marlboro where it's tremendous service. This is a waiter
ordering a sandwich from somebody.
That's right. You want to see if they're cordial, polite, or whatever.
And let's also point out that we went into each venue with the exception being Bing's, because we know it well enough.
Pretty cold.
We went into each venue cold. We've never been there before, and we asked the people to give us their best sandwich.
Yes.
What represents their product, their restaurant the best.
That's correct.
I've never had a pork roll before today, my first time ever, so I don't know anything about pork roll.
Yeah. Pork roll is very New Jersey based thing. It started in South Jersey
Do you even know what it is? Can you explain?
Well, it's ham. I mean, it's ham. I mean, pork roll's ham. It's ham. Because it started in South Jersey.
Why do they just call it ham?
Well, they started in South Jersey with this guy who did this thing with the meats. The guy's last name was Taylor, and they called it, it's outside of Philadelphia, he called it Taylor ham. Somehow, by the time you got to Central Jersey to North Jersey, that Taylor ham and cheese turned over to pork roll and cheese.
Let's go in the order.
Okay.
Let's go in the order that we went. So we went to 6 locations.
Yeah, 6 locations.
And we started at Bing's because it's right around the block from your house.
Yeah, started at Bing's, and good guys in there. Let's first talk atmosphere. Typical deli, nice inside, very clean, nice. Get your paper there, get your coffee there.
It feels appropriate for the beach environment that it's in. You're not going to hang out there all day. They have outdoor seating,
which is nice.
People that are going to be
bonus.
Outdoor. Yeah,
Phil Rennis, the bonus.
But it's definitely a place where you get your stuff and you go down to the beach for the day.
Yep.
And you're not going.
And they deliver to the beach.
And they deliver,
which is pretty epic.
Very sweet. So I'll go atmosphere. We're going to go 1 to 5. I go atmosphere. I'm going to go 3 because it's just
right. And I will go 4. I think it's, you know, it's a very, you know, they've updated it. They've done a good job updating. The new ownership has. They're great guys down there. We agree to disagree. We're not going. This isn't if we're going to. Yeah. What do you expect? I know where you grew up.
That's true.
So let's go. So that's service. Great guys.
Yeah, good guys. I'm saying service definitely a 4.
Okay, I'll give them a 4 too, because this isn't like they're walking around in tuxedos. I get it, so I go 4. Sandwich. I'm gonna let you go first here.
All right. Well, Bing's was a tough one because it was. We didn't walk in and say, "Give us your best sandwich." We walked in and ordered what we both like normally,
because we were hungry.
and then their standard egg roll,
Pork roll.
pork roll, egg and cheese. Egg roll. That's a different show.
Pork roll. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get. I mean, I'm going 5 for sandwich because the sausage, egg, and cheese with the double sausage at Bing's is the best breakfast sandwich I've ever had.
Yeah, Bing's gets a 5. So we got a 5, a 4. All right, moving on. So Bing's awesome. We love Bing's. So now we hopped in the car and we drove about 2 miles north into Asbury Park. Great old timer place in there called Frank's Deli, right on Main Street in Asbury, north end of Asbury. And well, let's talk through it. All right. So let's talk through atmosphere.
Okay. Atmosphere for me, Frank's. I'm gonna go. Can we do halves? Are we doing halves?
Yeah, I think we can do halves. I think we can do halves.
All right. So atmosphere for me at Frank's, I'm gonna give a 4.5, 4.5.
And why is that, Chris?
Look, I love dives. I love rough joints. I like places that don't make you feel very welcome.
Says the 6'2", 112-pound guy.
Exactly.
He loves rough joints.
I think they make you.
This guy push him over with my pinky.
Dr. Ruff. They're very authentic. They're not putting on a front. We walked into Frank's. They absolutely did not want us there, and it was awesome. They looked at us like we were from Mars. As soon as Mike opened his mouth, the woman wanted to know where he was from, based on what he was wearing and what he was saying. I mean, she hated us. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
So I'm gonna go with, now, since Chris is the rough one over here, I actually do like authentic places too. I don't need to be treated with whatever, but look, the place was fine. The woman was classic New Jersey. You know, everyone was pretty grumpy in there.
That's classic New Jersey.
Well, a lot of grumpiness. I'm just saying, a lot of grumpiness. But you know what? I'm not knocking them. You know, they're working their ass off. They're doing their thing. But, you know, so I go with the atmosphere. I'm going to go with a 3. Okay? I'm going to go with a 3. You probably
3?
Yeah, atmosphere. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I like a little bit more cheeriness. I'm ordering my sandwich. When we asked to order the sandwich, she said, "You're only getting 1?" Because we were splitting in 4ths because we all can't continue to eat sandwiches. And she looked at me like I was like I had a problem.
She didn't want us in there.
Well,
so the service at Frank's was aggressive. I would say is the word I would use. Maybe a little brusque.
Yeah, brusque is a word. Brusque.
Look, the one thing that I did like about the service was that this was the first place that we asked, "What's your best sandwich?" And without hesitation,
True.
She looked at us like, pork roll, egg and cheese on a roll, scoop of vanilla,
onion roll,
chocolate,
onion roll. She said, so you were expecting pork roll, egg and cheese on an onion roll. Very decisive.
But she was even bothered by the fact that we asked the question.
Yeah,
we should have known.
We should have known because you're Frank's and I'm just a peon.
That said, when we did only order 1 with 4 people in the place and asked them to cut it in 4, the service seemed to drop a little bit. It seemed to go off the rails just a tad.
So where are you going to go in service?
Service, I'm going to have to knock them down to like a 2 because then you tried to pay and they got annoyed that we wanted to pay. I don't see how that's possible.
Yeah, I will go with, I think she was a little rough around the edges. I actually think she didn't mind me. I think she was messing with me a little bit. There was a little of that because we were going through a couple apps. I'm gonna actually go a little bit higher, all right, on the service. I'm actually gonna go on a 2.5. So you're at a 2, I'm gonna go to 2.5. So Anna's got a 2.25. Now let's go to the sandwich.
Pork roll, egg and cheese on onion roll.
Yes.
Correct. Now, let's also add that sandwich was approximately $7 for that sandwich. I almost don't remember.
Well, I remember it, and I do remember. And it was good. It was
the onion roll that made a difference.
You like the cheese?
Yeah, the cheese
Velveeta-ish.
very well melted. It kind of seemed like it might have been like almost squeezed cheese that comes out of the thing, like on Philly cheesesteaks.
Yes, I don't think it was, but it might have been.
I don't think it was,
or maybe ours had.
It had that feeling. So I like that. If it was squeezed cheese, that would be a bonus for me.
Which isn't real cheap.
Velveeta bag.
Yeah, just squeeze it right out.
So I would go sandwich overall because the onion roll was nice, but the poppy seeds and stuff stuck in my fingers.
Yeah, yeah, I would say that little sticky. You need to wipe them down after.
I did like the cheese. So I'm gonna go. Sandwich was I'll give it a 3.
I actually enjoyed the sandwich a little bit more than Chris did. I'll give this, and I would eat it. I thought the onion roll was a little much, very onion, but I'm gonna give it a 4. I actually did like the sandwich. All right, let's move on to Bagel Masters. Another good place. Another good place. We got there around 10:30. Morning rush had died down. Right? Yeah, definitely, without question. It's in Shrewsbury. Highly recommended. Owned by a fellow Turk, Darren
Weinstein.
Darren Weinstein. Very good memory on Anna. Darren Weinstein. Let's first talk atmosphere.
I would say this was my least favorite atmosphere of all the places. It felt like a kind of very generic in terms of like a breakfasty, bagel-y place, like some cheesy cartoons of breakfast sandwiches and big menus and not much to the place. So for an atmosphere, I'm only gonna go like 2.
I will say,
very standard.
but you are missing a key ingredient here. He did have a Turk flag flying in the middle.
I'll give you
so
that.
With that, I'm gonna take Bagel Masters 2 or 3. All right, but again, typical bagel place in Jersey. A lot of steam coming around, but again, I think they're probably cleaning up from after the breakfast rush. We're kind of in that middle, so I'm gonna give them a little bit of a pass on that. Let's talk about service.
Service was great. Yeah, I mean, we got a couple of guys working there. You know, there was nobody else in there for the most part, so they were open to telling us what sandwich they thought was the best. Came out nice and quick. They brought it to the table.
Yeah.
Didn't he make a little joke at the table?
Yeah, he petted the shotgun mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone who pets real shotgun
Yeah.
is an ace. They're aces in that. Yeah, I'm gonna party with that guy.
So yeah, service was great. I give it a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4 too. Again, I don't think you're gonna get much higher than a 4 service-wise. Sandwich.
Sandwich. All right. So this sandwich was the pork roll, egg and cheese on a bagel.
Recommended by him. I did say
also, they all were.
Yep.
With the exception of Bing's, these were all recommended by the proprietors. The difference in this one was on a bagel. So I discussed immediately afterwards that I'm a little bit of a bagel snob, being from New York. So I wasn't thrilled with the bagel in and of itself. I thought it was a little mushy. Even could have used a little toasting. And a little bit skimpy on the meat. There wasn't a ton of pork roll on this sandwich, so because of the combination of the bagel and the pork roll lacking, I'm gonna go. It's probably like I'll go like a 2.5.
So I will go a little higher than you. Again, I'm not a bagel breakfast sandwich guy because I think it just should be too much. Bagels are a lot more dense. You know, I'm also a little more self-conscious about my weight than you are. You've fluctuated probably 6 pounds in the last 30 years.
And I've seen pictures of you from high school, so yeah, you should be.
And look at you now. But the interesting thing is, the bagels is not really my thing on a breakfast sandwich, but they recommended it. I thought the bagels were good. I really did think the bagels were good. I mean, I know Chris is a bagel snob. I thought the bagels were good. I thought the pork roll was pretty good. And I will give them a 3.5 as well. I thought it was all right.
What'd you give them? 3?
2.5. 2.5.
So 3.
All right, so now we move to the Leonardo section of Middletown. And we go to Slater's. Famous Slater's was voted...
Slater's was ranked very high, right?
Number 1. Asbury Park Press, which is the local paper here in New Jersey, was ranked the best pork roll, egg and cheese.
Look, I could see why it got that ranking, because if you're interested in flat-out pork roll,
yes,
there's a shitload of pork roll on their pork.
Well, we'll get to the sandwich. Let's start with the atmosphere. Go for it.
Atmosphere, divey again. I like it. No, you know, they don't beat around the bush. You're coming in there, you're getting a sandwich, sit down, eat, and go. Atmosphere, I'm gonna go like a right down the middle at like 2.5.
Yeah, I'll say it's a 2.5, and that's not a knock on them. Hey, they know what they do well. And by the way,
no fluff, no frills, just come in. I prefer the atmosphere at Slater's to the atmosphere at Bagel Masters, because Bagel Masters felt like they were trying a little too hard to be cute, whereas Slater's was like, fuck it.
You came to the same store.
Fuck.
I think you go to a 3.
All right, so
because you like that.
I'll go to a 3 on Slater's atmosphere. Yeah.
So I will say the same. So I'm with 3. I'll talk about service. The woman in there could not have been more friendly. When I said to her, "We're only getting one sandwich," she looked at me and she said, "They're not eating anything." I said, "You know what? We're tasting." I said, "We're doing." I said, "This is our 5th place, I believe, the 4th place that we've been to."
And mind you. No, we weren't suffering yet. We started suffering.
The suffering.
The suffrage started soon thereafter, right?
That's not the word.
Is it what the suffering? So, I will say that she could not have been more pleasant. At all. I mean, she was great. We dealt with her. She was great. Again, I'm going to give her a 4 on service because I'm not going to say 5 because but I'll give her a 4 on service. Chris?
Yeah, no, definitely 4 on service. She was super friendly when we walked in. She had no problems cutting it into 4 pieces, which some people kind of looked at us funny about. She was like, fine, whatever you want.
Well, and I think she was like that because let's move into the size of the sandwich. So if the category was size. Right, you're gonna go.
This is a 10. If it was for size, I mean, that thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was insane. So they bring it out. It's super hot, super fresh. Its cheese is really.
So that was a pork roll, egg and cheese.
Yes, it was.
It was 99.9% pork.
Yes. It was. Yeah, it was the epitome of pork.
Counted 7 stacks.
Yeah, Anna counted 7 stacks.
Okay. So size is there.
If you're going for meat, we can talk about all these. If you're going for meat,
going for pork roll,
you go to Slater.
So the size became an issue for me.
Yeah, me and you both.
Because it was like a good, like this, and then biting into it, didn't have a good enough grip. So I had pork roll going this way, and egg and cheese going this way, and it ended up with a very thin bite.
Yes.
So whether that's my issue or the sandwiches issue.
The interesting thing was, Chris, I had a similar experience when I was.
And we have similar arms.
We have similar.
Shouldn't have had the same experience.
As I grabbed the pork roll, and I believe we have film of it, and I went for the bite, and I squeezed, and it came out the back, and I was just left holding the bread in my hand. So now the pork roll has slid across the plate. It was slid across the plate. Cheese went flying, and I'm just holding the bread. And there might have been one piece of pork roll still in there.
When that all came out here, and then you have just one little slice of cheese and pork roll, it's steaming hot.
Yeah. I probably, if we got the camera underneath here, I am hot. I did burn a little taste buds. But I will say this. It was damn good. It was damn good.
Yes, it was very good, but again, it's if you're going there for 100% pork roll. I didn't like the proportion of pork roll to egg and cheese.
But I will say this, in Slater's defense, if we'd gone there first, and that was our first sandwich, I have a feeling you would think a little differently because we were a couple sandwiches deep, and again, now you're going in. It's like you had the petite filet, you had organic chicken, and then they served you the tomahawk.
Yeah, no.
Keep that in mind.
But that's not a bad. That's a bad comparison because a steak is just a steak. A sandwich is a combination of elements.
I beg to differ. Steak's not just a steak.
No, a good steak comes out with nothing on it. You don't get it. You don't get seasoning. It was the
Russo probably puts ketchup on it.
A sandwich is a combination of elements: pork roll, egg, and cheese. And I wanted to taste all 3 of them.
I'm interested to hear your rating. I'm in agreement with 3. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm not anywhere near that. I'm gonna go with a 4.25. Okay, I'm going 4.2.
We're only going halvesies.
I'm sorry. Halvesies? Is that the first time you ever said that word? Halvesies?
All the time.
4.25. I can't give it because I don't think it's a 4, but I don't think it's. But I did have the problem with the sliding out. That was an issue. I mean, it did, and I kind of had to pull it all back together.
Okay.
All right. I'll give it a 4.
And let's also factor into the decision. Well, maybe, but it was after Slaters that we walked out feeling like we were gonna die.
Yeah, well, you felt like you were gonna die. I felt like I was starting.
We weren't bitching and moaning. We have it on film.
Do we have anyone on film laying on the sidewalk? Yes. But full disclosure, I'm a bigger eater than you are. I can take more caloric intake in a day. I believe that is true.
I would assume so.
So there we go. All right, now we move on to. This is a place that is in Colts Neck. It's called the country store, Colts Neck Country Store.
General store.
Excuse me, Colts Neck General Store. I have eaten there before, but nothing like I have in Bing's. And I knew that the sandwiches were good. And we walked in, and let's talk a little bit about the atmosphere.
All right, atmosphere, very high for me. I'll figure out the score in a second, but literally this place feels like an old general store. Our intern Anna did great research about this place, discovered it was the oldest existing location on our list today. 1849 it was built, something like that.
I think so.
And you feel it when you walk in. It's got a nice little sitting section on the left, it's got the kitchen on the right, and then it's got it's got a working general store in the middle where these guys spent $30 on bottle openers like two tourist idiots. And even though they're in their own state. And then a little couch in the middle in front of a TV with a shelf that literally looked like my mom's apartment full of tchotchkes and shit.
But cool tchotchkes.
But cool.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in my mom's house and my grandmother's basement simultaneously.
What's your mom's first name again?
Colleen. Which is a great thing.
Yeah.
So atmosphere, I'm going 4.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same. I love that feeling in there. You got the old timers in there. You see them sitting there, look like maybe they played a little golf. You got the guys coming in, with the trucks and the vans, and then you got business people coming in. And if you want to sit at the couch and watch a show, if you want to pull probably some books or something, I thought it was great. I'm gonna give it a 4.5 as well. So we're in agreement. Service, I asked her. I walked right in and I said to her,
and even before there's a friendly welcome. There's a
smile on her face. Yeah. Look, we got a camera. Here comes this idiot with sunglasses on, great tan, beautiful bone structure. So she was great. And I said, hey, listen, they've got a nice big menu of sandwiches up on the wall, which I always love when they got to sit in there like chalkboarded in there. That means they change
ingredients.
Yeah, and they change it around a little bit. It's not stale. You know that. And I said, what's your best sandwich? She said, well, you should probably go for the Cougar. Right? Like, oh, the Cougar. All right, so let's check it out. So we look up on the board, and it consists of...
Cougar was...
on a roll, of course.
On a roll.
Yep.
Cougar was pork roll, egg, cheese, bacon, and magic ingredient.
Matt, you bite into this, and you don't know what, you look at it, and it looks like a good sandwich, you bite in, and they've got a perfectly fried up hash brown in the middle of that sandwich, and I'm not gonna lie, that was a good sandwich.
It's a game changer.
It was a game changer. The hash brown was an absolute game changer in the middle.
Especially when you've had 4 of the pork rolls
right.
and egg and cheese all day, and then you hit that hash brown.
There's a video of Chris and I walking into the store, very hunched over,
like zombies.
With zombies, right? I mean, we were in a pork roll drunkenness walking coma. A pork roll drunkenness walking coma. And we went and we're like, oh god, we don't want to do this. The sandwich came and you go, well, that looks pretty good. You bite into that thing, it's like butter.
Rejuvenated.
Yeah, you totally rejuvenated. We felt better about ourselves. I felt better about Chris and I's relationship at that point.
Yeah, I'm not going to therapy this week. Based on hash browns.
Service, I thought she was great. I'm gonna give her a 4.
I'm gonna go service 4.5 only because the woman who took our order was great, and then the woman who made our sandwich came out and we chatted with her, and she was excited about. You're on film, right?
I know. I will say the atmosphere. You gave it a 4 or 5. I didn't rate it. So we forgot to ask me. I wasn't. No, just full disclosure. That is more your cup of tea than it is mine. Okay, I'm not knocking it.
You've never been in my mother's apartment.
That's right. Not that you know of. So, so I have full disclosure. I haven't. I've been in your father's apartment, but not your mother's apartment. I'm gonna give it because to me, it's fine. I'm gonna give it 3.5. So I think we average around. She's a they're a 4. But God, listen, not a knock. Clean, great. One was great. Service, impeccable. 4.25. Totally agree. Sandwich, it's a 5. There's nothing even wrong to say about it.
Yeah, sandwich. I'm going 5.
You got to go over there and you got to try
It was the hash brown.
It's the hash brown on there that did it, and I tell you, there was another one called the Killer, and it looked like it was the same one with sausage,
but also a full hero.
Yeah. Oh, it was half sub, half sub, yeah, half sub. But we didn't try that. But we're talking about the.
Yeah. After you've had 5 of these sandwiches, you don't want one that's called the Killer.
Yeah. He's right.
You
He's
don't
right.
need that.
He's right. Anyway, we're moving on. Moving on.
All right. So now we're at the the
Allenwood General
Store.
Atmosphere.
Atmosphere 5. And very easy to explain. It's
to the listener.
It's a working antique shop and kind of junk shop and knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone shop.
This old man came.
So before the sandwich even came to the table,
knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a
I
bone.
had gone to the back and bought vinyl records.
Yes.
Including this one. So any place that you can go and get a sandwich, breakfast sandwich, and buy vinyl records, animal crackers.
Gary Delabate. Delabate-ish.
And
for all your Howard
the atmosphere
Stern.
in general,
Yes.
you know, where you order the food, everything. Just a 5. It's fantastic.
Baba Booey!
Atmosphere.
I will say, I did like the atmosphere too. I mean, knick-knack.
You looked around.
Little junk. I mean, even saying hello. Some of this junk isn't for sale. You know, I looked around.
You almost bought your kids a lump of coal.
I almost bought them a lump of coal. There's an unbelievable exit sign for exit 98 off the Parkway that would be epic, potentially in this office if we can get the price down. So I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I mean, I'll be honest. You know what? I'm gonna give it a 5. I give it a 5. It was pretty cool. I could have stayed in there for a good hour. Yeah, and messed around. More your speed, I get it. The vinyl records, baba booey. But yes, you got a stack of records over there. All right, next service. You didn't deal with them.
I didn't. I was buying records while you were ordering the sandwich.
Yeah. So went up. I asked. They were polite. I asked them how'd it go? Like, what's the best sandwich? And she said, you got to go with the pork roll, egg and cheese. Pretty much that was it. The interaction was kept to that.
Although I will say this, I did then go to the same counter to purchase the vinyl records, and they were very friendly, and they sold me the records and the animal crackers, and were very nice about it. And so, this is good service. Based on that,
The animal crackers.
based on my record
Knickknacks, animal crackers, exit signs.
I would go. I'll give them 3.5 for service. Based on
I'll give him a 3.5. I'll give him a 3.5. I do the same. All right, now moving on to the sandwich. Now here's the problem. The sandwich she recommended. Anna and I looked over, and Anna turns to me and says, "Oh boy, it's going to be a big one to some degree because she saw this sandwich this guy had. There was a lot of stuff on there, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't handle it." And they brought it over. Chris is still buying records. And we bring Chris over, and I'm going to be completely honest here. The sandwich tasted, it was fine, but it tasted like something I could make. Like, if I got pork roll, took it to my house, bought a piece of cheddar cheese, and some bread, and an egg, I could have made the same exact sandwich.
Definitely the most simplistic.
Yeah, I would say it was basic.
Super simple, not like, didn't taste a lot of seasoning, flavoring, nothing really popped from it, so I'm going to give the sandwich right down the middle at like a 2.5.
Yeah, I tell you, I kind of got to agree with you. I mean, if we're going to if I'm looking at 5.35, 3.355, I got to go with a 2.5. I think you're spot on. Again, I'm not knocking it, and by the way, we might not have had, if I'd had that sandwich that guy was sitting by Anna with, maybe it's a different conversation, so it's not knocking. I just think there wasn't any oomph to it. I wasn't blown away. All right?
And yeah, like I said, that was our 6th of the day, so we had a lot of other flavors, and maybe we needed something to really blow our doors off at that point. But bottom line, it was just kind of tepid.
So, as we review, our final scores are...
Take it with a grain of salt, pepper, ketchup.
Which you didn't have on any of your sandwiches. But at the end of the day, Cold Snack comes out on top by a hair. But
by a hair, and let's look at it. They both got 5 for sandwiches.
Right.
Okay, so that's the most important part.
Right. And by the way, both clean, both great service. I just,
that's all.
So,
but you gotta, with the sandwiches between Bing's and Cold Snack, we're basically neck to neck. No pun intended. So they're both awesome.
Where's the pun on neck to neck?
Colt's neck.
Oh,
Colt's neck to neck.
So much quicker than me.
What was your favorite part of the whole experience? This part that stood out the most?
Probably getting to spend time with you, Dan.